What's up, Kelly? We're
What?
live.
Jack started this like way earlier. I was just tweeting. What is happening?
I don't know. You look like you're in a different spot. Where are we, Kel?
I am in the Barstool Sportsbook office. I cannot feel my fucking fingers. So my Uber driver dropped me off like 4 blocks away. I haven't been to my hotel to check in. I've got luggage everywhere, and Jack just had to come down and save the day. I have no voice from yesterday, so it's one of those days. But I'm here. I made it.
You made it. You're
I'm
here.
still in the same sweatshirt from last night.
We're all in one piece. Speaking of last night, for everyone that isn't really sure what happened, what went on, where were you at last night?
So I hosted the event. If you guys remember back in August, I gave out 9 season win totals over for college football. Not great. Went 4-4-1. It's not ideal. We did not make money, and that pissed me off. But we did have a really good time. We had 10 winners of that contest, and they each got to bring a friend. So there's like 20 people at the Barstool River North with a couple of VIPs from Penn Gaming. I got there early because like I'm an early person. Like I hate being late, as you can currently tell. I'm just like thrown together. And so I got there early, because I didn't want to take a nap at the hotel. I was like, you know what? I'll go have a drink, meet some people. And the event was supposed to start at 2. We started drinking at like 12:47, and the wheels fell off from there. Great time, great result, 4-0 on my place. So that made things just a little bit sweeter.
Well, that is fantastic. Obviously, I had a big win this weekend myself with Joey B going to the motherfucking Super Bowl. And obviously, those lines are already up at the Barstool Sportsbook, and the Bengals are catching 4 over in California. So besides that, you had some winners this weekend. You had a great time this weekend. Obviously, I will be joining you up in the office tomorrow. Should be an absolute fantastic time. Do you want to talk any more about the games? Do you want to?
Yeah, let's recap a little bit here. I'm really happy for you. One of the funnier things was one of the Bengals fans just kind of, when it was 21-3, he was just so like, I believe his name was Bob, but don't quote me on that.
I was also like that, Bob, if you're watching.
And, I felt really bad for him, Megan, because it kind of like took the wind out of his sails. And the security guard that I made friends with that came up to keep checking on me, making sure I didn't get kidnapped, I guess. He was hilarious. And he goes, man, Chief's about to blow him out. And I look at the guys next to him, and we're all sports bettors. And I was like, and the one guy goes, should we live bet the Bengals?
We should.
And I go, well, I'm going to live bet some more on the under at this point. And then all hell broke loose as far as scoring. And I was like, well, that was a bad bet. And got lucky enough to still cash that under ticket. And I will take it by all means. But, man, what a second half performance by the Bengals. I thought they were dead in the water. And, yes, I did jinx the Chiefs. So I have a lot of Chiefs fans mad at me when I said, congrats, Chiefs win another coin flip. They're going to the Super Bowl. And, hey, Bengals defense. And it was really funny because my dad bagged me. He's like, oh, the Bengals defense is horrific. I go, it was horrific. They've been really stepping up this last few games. If they can step up, I think this is going to be a really good game. Sure enough, they stepped up when they needed it most.
When I tell you, both my husband and myself were slumped on the couch, just like, because we were waiting I didn't even touch college basketball. I mean, I had been playing my hot hand, and I stepped away from college basketball to just focus on the NFL, to appreciate the 2 games that we were given, hand selected and given to. And I'm not going to lie, when I saw that score at halftime, I mean, I was just sitting there like, oh, fuck this. Like, are we going to turn it off? Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to hedge? Like, what's happening? And obviously everyone started tweeting out, well, what happened last time when the Bengals were down 11? This is what happened last time. And I'm like, man, of course, reverse jinx. There's absolutely no way they could do it again. And sure enough, they went out there. I would like to personally thank Jackson Mahomes. We appreciate you more than probably your own mom at this point. Look, I will credit to Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. I'm sorry that you guys will not have another Super Bowl. I'm sorry y'all choked it away, but congratulations to the Bengals, who haven't seen a Super Bowl since 1988? I wasn't even born, so I don't know for sure that stat. Sorry, don't kill me. I wasn't even thought about. But I was really excited for that one. And then obviously we had the second game, which is the Niners-Rams. And you did tell me not to buy down to the 3, Kelly, but I didn't listen, obviously, and I bought down to the 3. And thankfully, I pushed there. I obviously wasn't super happy that I didn't get the cover. But, I thought it was going to be a 3-point game either way. I felt like I was a duck in the water. I know I didn't listen to the correct sharp instruction by buying down, but I had to do what I had to do. And so thankfully I did end up pushing. And I was a little sad though. I had made that promo, gave it to Westy. It was like the 2 LSU players to score. And I really thought that was fun. Definitely thought it was going to hit for Louisiana. Man, all I needed was OBJ to step it up, but maybe he's not catching touchdowns anymore. I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, I got, buried for saying that he wasn't going to make a big impact on the Rams. And then last game, I obviously joked and said, I take back all the bad things I said about you. But I didn't say anything bad. I don't think when your wide receiver 1 is Cooper Kupp, makes it really hard for you to fill those shoes. And that's what we've seen this year. It doesn't mean things won't change next year. I just didn't think in this small magnitude of a cancer-esque player that brings a lot of drama to your locker room and your sidelines that would maybe not help that much. But he's done all right, but I don't think he's made an impact. He's not the reason why they're going to the Super Bowl. So all that stuff aside, I know you're a big LSU fan, so I won't bag on him any further. But yeah, I got nothing.
Do you think
what?
Do you think Jarvis has the Jordan crying face on right now, watching Odell go to the Super Bowl while he's still stuck with the fucking Browns? Come on, let's give Jarvis a chance. I feel like
I wasn't happy as a Broncos fan that Von Miller left for the Rams, but you have to understand that's what Super Bowl caliber teams do. They make money moves throughout the season, and that's what the Rams did, and that's why they're getting to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, for me, Jimmy G didn't get the money line cash, but I did catch the 3.5. But like I said, at 17-7, I was just coasting. I felt pretty damn good about my bet.
Are you still going to have the girls send you the Jimmy G face shirt just for shits and giggles to have for next season?
I just feel like if I would have been wearing it, then maybe they would have won. I got the Jimmy Garoppolo's hot shirt because that's the only one I thought. Because when you search on the merch page, if you type in Jimmy G, that's the one that comes up, not the one with
his
face, right? So it is what it is. But here we are. We got Bengals Rams Super Bowl. I was trolling some people this morning on Twitter in regards to if this was a Sunday morning game and you're at the Sportsbook, there's 6 or 7 other games on. They wouldn't even have the audio playing for this one in the book. That's just the truth, right? This has resemblance of a weird Thursday night game. But I hope that we get a really good Super Bowl. As you mentioned, current line is 4. I think it's 48.5. I'm probably going to be really boring and take the under, and you guys are all going to hate me, but I haven't really got a chance to break it down that much on the plane. I elected to take a snooze-ish, if you will, instead of work on this game and then also find some college basketball for everybody.
College basketball slate was not great today. I'm just going to go ahead and say that with some hesitation.
I usually like Mondays, Megan, because as you know, the Big 12 is the number 1 conference that I follow. So I won't say that I dislike Mondays, but
I usually like Mondays. Just today in particularly wasn't really doing it for me.
Let's use that segue to remind everybody we're going to start having a Saturday show, Monday show, Wednesday show. Wednesday starts that next rotation when Megan's here in New York. Yes. So we'll talk college basketball every single Monday. I think it'll be good though. So hopefully the Monday slate over the next 4 or 5 weeks picks things up.
All right, really quickly before we go and talk about college basketball, I will say I do have my Making Money Mondays parlay, which is Duke to win, Morehead State to win, and TCU plus 10.5. Yes, we are able to move the stool and do a lot of fun things to put these parlays together, and it's at plus 210. These have hit back-to-back weeks. We're trying to go for number 3. So on that note, let's start talking about the first game. Big game on the board, which is Duke at Notre Dame. Obviously, this Irish team has been good at home, 9-0, been on fire. But I will say that this Duke team seems to be hitting stride. They're going to absolutely dominate the interior. They have multiple threats from three. They're going to force Notre Dame to take shots, and since they're at home, should some of those shots that they're forcing go in? Probably. However, I think that this is a team that's going to be too big, too athletic, and is just better coached. I'm going to go ahead and lay the points with Duke on the road. Do I love it? Not necessarily, but that's why I threw them in the parlay just on the money line. I like them over Notre Dame today. I have a feeling that a lot of sharp money is going to go towards Notre Dame. What's the play here, Kel?
I don't know what the play is. All I know is I can't Duke on the road. Duke has been atrocious on the road, and that's because I think their name is Duke. I think you're paying a premium for teams like this almost every single week. Now, you've got Notre Dame, pretty solid defense. They've had a really nice 4-game winning streak. Louisville, NC State, Virginia, obviously, and they've only allowed 67 points over that time period. I would love – this looks like to be honest with you, Megan, this looks like a Kelly special, right? Like I would take Notre Dame plus the points on the money line.
That's why I asked you. I figured you might be on them today.
I just can't do it. If they can get hot from 3-point range, which we've seen them do, I lean that direction, but that's plus the 5.5. Duke's got a really solid defense. I think that they should be able to absolutely defend that said 3 ball, and that concerns me, right? You take that away from Notre Dame, and they're not great off. I'm not going to bag their offense, but they're not great offensively in terms of rebounds. They're not great on not turning the ball over on defense. This is a team that I see they have some issues. Yes, they went on a 4-game win streak, but it bothers me that I'm not getting, let's call it, if I was getting 6.5 or 7, I'd probably be on the Irish, but I don't think this is enough. I think this is one of those games where the bookmakers set the line at 5.5, and that's where the game lands, right? So you having them on the money line kind of makes sense to me.
And by the way, they're down to 5 over at the Barstool Sportsbook. So
that's what the line should be. If you look at Ken Palm, he says the game's 5. To me, that's unless you can find something situationally, it's just not basically an automatic no bet,
Yeah, I'm going to have to personally disagree just because I like this Duke team and how big they are. I like them to get the rebounds. I like them to just be all up in Notre Dame's face. Obviously, the crowd should play a factor too. They're probably going to get up for this game. So, this is one of those cross my fingers. Hopefully my research will pay off or Notre Dame has a big game. Let's see. Up next, a game that I am not touching. I am not sure if you have decided to make a play on yet. Iowa at Penn State. You had this one's, as I said, I wasn't playing. This line, I want you to explain it to me because you had these two teams play like 10 days ago. They got blown out. And now I believe the line opened at 3, now bet to 5. Is that accurate? Did the line open at 3?
Yeah, open 3.5. I think. Okay. I'm not sure when it opened up at the Barstool Sportsbook. I was hurrying before we took off in Chicago trying to get a couple of these bets in, and I got plus 5.5. So I'm not sure when it opened 3.5. I'm guessing last night. But
why is this line the way that it is? Please explain it to me.
This is a definite Kelly special. This is a mind fuck of a line, right?
Yeah.
You've got Iowa off that ugly Purdue loss, and situationally, and I was on Iowa. We know that was a big loser that I gave out. Purdue absolutely dominated them that game, and I want to back Iowa here, and I want to say yes, Iowa is going to come to play. We're going to see that offense that we all love. I don't think we do. I think this is a flat spot. They have Ohio State on deck on Thursday. What's going to happen here? They're going to look at it and go, we just beat the crap out of these guys on Saturday. Well, sorry, Saturday the 22nd. So not exactly still long, like less than 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, like 10 days.
Yeah, we just beat the crap out of this team. We're not worried about them. What do they bring to the table? And I will say this is a Penn State defense that even though they're 8-9 on the season, have shown some moments of greatness, right? And held some opponents, not all of them, but even decent teams like Rutgers, Indiana to, season low points. And I think this team can show some pride for me and keep it close against Iowa. This line should be 3, but I think that 5.5, it's at this point, it's just like Kelly, you have to bet it based on principle. Do I want to back Penn State? No. But situationally, I think it's a really good spot against Iowa.
I cannot go against you there. I will not be playing it. I feel like it's just one of those that as soon as I saw it, I didn't even go further into detail with it. I was like, there's something off with this line, and I don't want to be caught on either side of it. Up next, I know that we talked a little bit about this one. I don't know whether you had decided to punch in that ticket or not, but TCU at Oklahoma. Oklahoma is laying 5.5. And I am going against a ton of trends that I generally like. TCU off of a big win against my Tigers. You have Oklahoma off of a big loss back at home. Let's see. And TCU won the first meeting by a point, so this is a grudge match. But guess what? I am taking TCU again, plus the 5.5. I feel like this team is super gritty. They're fabulous on the road. They're covering. I hate to do it just because of what they did to me last week. Although I will say LSU made it way too fucking close and gave me hope at the end of that game. So hopefully TCU can roll through the second half and continue, the momentum from the first if they're playing well, and not go out there and shit their pants like they almost did against my Tigers last week. But maybe that was a Tiger thing. Maybe we were just playing better. But I'm taking TCU. Kelly, I believe you are too. Tell us why.
Yeah, I like TCU here, Megan. As you mentioned, this is a Big 12 school that I played, I think, 4 times. I've been on them 3, and I was against them, I believe, with Oklahoma State. I'd have to double check. I don't have that computer with me today. But I feel like I've got a really good read on this Horned Frogs team. I love this defense. I love how they can lock down their opponents. They defend the 3-ball pretty well for the most part. And that's what Oklahoma appears to live and die by, right? They were so bad against Auburn. And I know that's a 1-game sample size, but they have their in-state rival, Oklahoma State, on deck. This will be the last time. I take that back. They do still play them again at the end of February, but I was going to say this will be the last time they get to play each other. Not true. Before they go to the SEC. Look, I just can't see Oklahoma blowing anybody out, right? Yes, they've shown some moments of being able to do so, but the last time was like almost a month ago versus Iowa State. This is not a good Oklahoma team. To be playing 6, I'm frankly appalled. I understand that it might be a trap game for everybody wanting to back a really solid TCU team, but every single time I've told you this year, these situations, if you will, that I've used for years past, whether that's betting against a ranked team catching points, betting against a higher ranked team than their opponent catching points. I'm sorry, it's been money. And even with Marquette yesterday, normally I'd have been looking to bet against them. That don't fade yourself sweatshirt, I didn't bring it to New York with me, but I'm not afraid to fade myself here. It looks like it's the easiest thing in the world to take TCU, and I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to take the 6.
I was so close to pulling the trigger on Marquette yesterday, but you know what? I overthought it, and then
they had a really good shot to win that one. I'll take the win by the hook, but look, even Minnesota, everybody kind of bagged on me for that, and I'm like, this is a scrappy Gophers team, and they're not going to just go lie down, and I think that's what we see with several of these teams in the Big 12 too, is it is really cutthroat, and you're going to see me taking a lot of points over the next month.
All right, up next, we have Virginia at Baylor, and both of these teams are looking to bounce back. Baylor, off of a bad loss to Alabama, I had them there thinking that they would go into Tuscaloosa and just handle business. They did not. I would be looking at West Virginia plus the points here if we were in Morgantown, but we're not. We're back at Baylor, and this is a late or don't play it for me. I will not be playing it. I'd like to see a Baylor bounce back here, and hopefully I will want to bet on them again. But after that loss against Alabama, that was a tough one to get over. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I was on Alabama, and this is an Alabama team that I've been really high on. If you remember, I laid the 3.5 versus LSU, and they basically choked it away in the second half. They didn't do that to me versus Baylor, and that was an awesome performance by them. So yes. I am looking at this Baylor team going, can they bounce back? We know that they have a solid defense. And as you mentioned, West Virginia is at home. This is a lot of points. Who does Baylor play on Saturday? KU. Who's the second best team in the Big 12? Well, technically it's KU. That being said, I know it always pains me to admit it, but it is true. And so I'm kind of looking at them going, how much do they care about West Virginia? Last time they played in Morgantown, they won 77-68. Do they need to blow this team out? They don't. I don't think I can take the points here, though. I could see Baylor bouncing back really hard, which we've seen them do on several occasions this year off a loss, except for that back-to-back loss with Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. But then that's when they pounded, West Virginia, beat the crap out of Oklahoma, and then beat the crap out of my Wildcats off that KU loss. So they do tend to capitalize on teams like that. I'm trying to look at West Virginia's schedule. They play Tech coming up. Yeah.
Just an ugly game.
Yeah, it is. I'm with you. I mean, West Virginia can play decent defense and keep it close. I really do want to say that. But, they've now dropped 5 straight, and none of them have been close, Megan. None of those losses have been close, and that's my concern here. If they were losing by a close margin, let's just say by like even 7 or 8, I would definitely consider them here, which probably means they're going to cover because they're listening to our show and they're like, we're going to show her wrong.
Yeah, probably. I'm not going in order. I accidentally skipped this one, so don't get mad at me, folks. I'm trying to – how the Barstool Sportsbook sets it up is they put the marquee games up top and then the small ones at the bottom. So this isn't everyone's rotational order. It should be because you should all be using the Barstool Sportsbook. So I'm sorry if I'm kind of mixing y'all up, but here we go. Another game, Colorado State at Wyoming. You have Colorado State – coming off of a disgusting they were double-digit favorites, and they lost outright to UNLV. You know a little bit about UNLV. People go there, and they get fucked up, and then they get fucked up by UNLV because, why? They're in Vegas having a great old time. Wyoming now, you have to travel to Wyoming. Big Wyoming team. They're going to get the boards, and it's a tough place to play. This was at a pick'em this morning. Wyoming's now catching 1.5 at home, which I don't like the line movement, but I liked Wyoming at a pick'em, so why don't I like them at 1.5? I don't know. Am I scared to add it to my card? A little bit. What do you make of this game?
Is Wyoming still
it's plus 1.5 still, I believe.
Yeah. This one's really interesting, Megan, because as everybody knows, I've spent a significant time in Wyoming, in Las Vegas. And so
Wyoming.
I can't even think right now. My face is still frozen. I've spent a significant time in Las Vegas. So this is a solid UNLV team. Never, right? They have been, since Lon Kruger left, they're just like this, like such middle of the road, but they do some crazy things like we saw at Colorado State. So now you've got Colorado State off a really ugly loss. Now, Colorado State has dominated Wyoming past 3 seasons, but Laramie is so tough to play. Not only is the weather shitty outside, it's shitty inside because you're playing at a high altitude and the Wyoming kids have nothing else to do other than get drunk and get rowdy. I lean towards Wyoming here, but my concern is Colorado State coming off that bounce back, right? And with that, I kind of have to wonder, is this offense going to be able to get something done? I don't really like the game. Slight lean towards the Cowboys in a situational perspective, but I guess I could say the same thing about Colorado State. I would lean to them in a situational perspective as well.
All right. So you would say you would lean Wyoming?
If you're going to ask me based on does Colorado State have a bounce back, in theory, I don't think it's in Laramie though.
Okay. That's just I've wanted to put Wyoming, and then I saw the fact that they went from a pick'em to plus 1.5, and I was just like, I don't know why. I mean, I guess because everyone's betting Colorado State for that bounce back, but it's like, I mean, I don't know how I could. It's hard. It's a hard place to bounce back, right?
I think so. I mean, Wyoming.
You've spent a ton of time in Wyoming.
I've been to Yellowstone National Park.
As you guys know, I've spent a ton of time in Wyoming. Here I am, I'm like, no, I don't know.
All I really want to do right now is just go take a nap, but I can't because I have to go to dinner with our friend Errol Epstein. How miserable of an existence is that going to be? I'm just going to be the most insufferable person at like a nice steak dinner with her. She's going to make me have fun and drink wine.
Well, I think that's what you need to do. Sometimes it needs to be forced. Up next, I got a couple just tiny little games we can touch on that are in the parlay. As I said, Morehead State, I am playing them.
You play them strictly based on their team name?
Yeah, just strictly based on the team name. They're going against Tennessee Tech. Look, this isn't my favorite play, but I do like them on the money line, and I am playing them minus the 5. I'm just sticking with the better team here. And
you hate Tennessee Tech. If you guys watch the show and don't realize that Megan hates Tennessee Tech, and the reason why is because they're 5-15, they suck. And I don't think the market's caught up with it yet.
No, but you know who? One of our friends is on Tennessee Tech today, so I'm interested to go read his write-up and see why he likes.
Because he loves every dog shit play on the planet. Like, we use the poop emoji next to most of his plays. I don't mind getting in the slop, getting a little messy, but like, he's over there with a fucking turd sandwich 3 days a week. I can't handle it. I can't. And that's what Tennessee Tech is tonight. Tennessee Tech is a turd sandwich.
Well, he's eating that turd sandwich. I will not be. I'm on Morehead minus 5. As I said, I think that they're the better team, and they need a little bounce back here. They lost.
And you have a money line, or you have a minus
money line in the parlay, and I also have the minus the 5.
As
my plays, yeah, which hopefully all plays go good tonight for multiple reasons. But yeah, so Morehead, I like them, as I said, on the money line for the parlay. And then you look TCU plus 10.5 in that parlay. I feel like is a gift. Knock on wood. So yeah. And then I like Austin. Is it Austin P or Austin Pay? Because I feel like I need to like pay because PEA.
I call it Austin P.
Okay, well that's what I was calling it, but I feel like I need to like get some attitude with it, right? Like pay. Yeah, I like Austin Pay. It's just kind of a number play for me. SIU has dropped like 6 straight. They've dropped 8 out of 9. Another kind of dog shit team that I'm just going against. And those have been working for me recently. Although I will say I'm not loving the line movement. You can get Austin Pay, I believe, at minus 1.5 now instead of 3. So P pay, whatever. As long as they get me paid, I don't care. But yeah, so again, these are just my small little, like, I'm streaming them if I have time. If not, I'm like constantly looking at the score app for all these losers to be like, oh, it's tied. Oh,
I cannot. You cannot be in the chat. You cannot. It's like against the rules. You just can't do it.
I feel like we need to hire a ton of people just to be like moderators of that and just like fucking like, nope. If it's inaccurate, you get banned.
You get banned. If you like fake call a game on there, you say it's a foul or it's a missed free throw or whatever. Yeah. So I cut cable, Megan, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years ago. And there's actually 2 funny stories about this. So I am delayed on YouTube TV. It sucks. Like you could be up to like 10 seconds behind. But when I worked for NBA TV, I would be ahead than what was going on actual TV because I had the live feed from the network. And it would be hilarious because like I would also have the live betting app open.
Right.
The betting app was about 1.5 seconds faster than the live feed and about 10 seconds faster than the TV. And you could really like piss off the people you were watching the game with.
No, I like my husband hates me sometimes because we'll sit there and especially when I'm watching basketball, I'm watching fucking live. I'm watching my live on my phone. Obviously the game's right on in front of me, but I'm watching live. I'm making sure we're hitting the free throws. And he's like, how are we even going to enjoy a game together? I'm like, we stopped doing that so long ago.
This is so funny. I don't remember whose wife I talked to yesterday, and we were talking about that. And she was like, don't you love that you date another sports bettor? And I was like, no, I just want to sit on the couch by myself and not watch games with any of these people. And she was like laughing because, everybody's going to have different bets and everybody's going to have different things going on. And sometimes it can get a little heated.
Which was my favorite. I love games like game day, like yesterday when there's 2 games. So there's 4 sides and everyone has a fucking opinion about it. So, I put my picks out and someone before the game starts, and these are my favorite, says, stick to college basketball, sweetie. And I said, I kind of have to after the NFL is done, sweetie. Like, bro, relax.
Bro.
like I went 1-1. Thank you. 1-1. Well, yeah, 1-1 because I lost my parlay with LSU players. I pushed on the Rams and I won the Bengals. Also, I might have live bet the Bengals money line, but didn't have the cojones to put it out there for the people to tease me about.
Oh, Megan.
One day I'll grow big balls and I'll show them all to you. Last play of my day, though, is going to be Eastern Washington plus the 11 against Weber State, who I usually like to play Weber State. However, this Washington team has been covering. They've been gritty. They've been covering on the road. Let's see. I believe Weber State is 1-6 ATS last 7 home games. This is a numbers play for me, bro. And I believe that we're getting some good value here. And I think they're in my parlay. No, they're not in my parlay. I lied. Just kidding.
So you played.
Who did I play?
Washington.
Yes, I played Eastern Washington plus the 11. I think it's been fluctuating from 10.5 to 11 all day. Yeah, sorry, I lied. I don't know. I thought about adding them in my parlay. But I was a little scared because, I mean, as I know, Weber is a wagon and sometimes they don't fall down. However, I do think Eastern Washington is good at keeping it close. And
it looks like a ton of points. I'm with you. I'm not going to bet it, but it looks like it's a ton of points here. My only concern is they're coming off that close loss to Montana, and I hope they don't just come out and fall flat on their faces and, get beat by more than 10.
Well, I hope not either, but that's why I didn't add them into the parlay. I was a little scared, when I look at point spreads that large, just like Baylor's, and that's why I don't want to touch it. But that's it. That's all I have. As I said, Duke money line, a Moorhead money line, and then you get TCU plus 10.5 plus 210 over at the Barstool Sportsbook. Making money Mondays. As I said, we've hit back to back. Let's see if we can do a three-peat. Kelly, please tell everyone what you plan on doing the next couple of days while you're up in NYC until I get there.
Yeah, so right now I'm going to tell Jack that he needs to go get me a Starbucks or something because I feel like dog shit. I should probably go take a shower, maybe a nap before dinner with Ariel. Next thing you know, it's going to be like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be at like Marquee or something tonight, hating my life. Tomorrow, I don't know what the plan is for tomorrow. I know I'm going to be on Pick Central with you on Wednesday. I lost lunch to Mincy, so I think we're all going to go to lunch on Wednesday as well. Tuesday night, one of the Rangers game with Ariel. She and I have the same agent, so they scooped up some really great seats. So if you guys are going to be at the Rangers game, let me know. I got to figure out who I'm going to bet, but I'll probably throw on a Rangers sweater just for fun and also to add more warmth because it's fucking freezing here.
And then you're going to go see hockey, so you're going to be cold on top of cold on top of
cold.
Yeah,
Sydney Wells just texted us in the group, asked what we were doing. So like to do some collaborations with her. Yeah, I think that's about it. Christmas party on Wednesday. Thursday, I fly home, and I'm never drinking again.
Okay, well, Kelly's never drinking again. I am hydrating with water and, of course, some Revitalite.
That's what I need to have Jack go get me because I've been out at my house for a while. Good call.
Someone said, do we do hockey bets? I do not bet hockey personally. Kelly, I know you throw out a couple. Is that something that you look at, like real deal?
So, Gerald, I don't handicap hockey. Do I bet hockey? Absolutely. I get some good information from some of those guys that are, knee deep in it every single day. It's part of what makes this community so great is I share college football with them. They share hockey, baseball, stuff like that with me. So I will put out a play on the game because, of course, I'm going to the game. So you have to have a bet on it. So I'll definitely tweet that out and amongst a couple of college basketball bets for tonight.
All right. So I know that we have an overlapping bet on TCU, which hopefully we can bring that one in. And also hopefully it'll help bring in the old parlay. I hope everyone has an awesome week. As Kelly said in the beginning, we're changing scheduling, so our next show won't be until Saturday morning.
Wednesday.
We're
doing our live show here.
Live show Wednesday, then Saturday.
We actually have the studio, so it should be really fun. Maybe we'll see if we can't get a guest for that one. Go down the college basketball card, and then Saturday, we got to figure out a time frame. But is 10 a.m. Eastern too early? There might be some hungover shows between us, but I think it'd be nice to do a show leading up until tip. That way, we can get some people some last minute information and actually get a breakdown of our bets. Look, Megan, I appreciate that you tweet all of your stuff at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Sometimes it's 6 a.m.
I want people to watch the show. I want people to comment, even assholes like Barton. That everybody is
Barton Kelly has been doing this a very long time. She should sound like a college professor.
Yeah, you guys have to
I have
remember,
not.
I made the mistake of aging myself last night, and I'm not going to do that again in the last 24 hours. Just remember, I've been doing this a lot longer, i.e., I'm a lot older than Megan too. So maybe that high school science teacher has to go back and get their PhD, and then they can also be a Harvard professor.
Hey, some guy named Matt Kelly wants to go on a date with you while you're in town, and I would love that. If y'all got married, your name would be Kelly Kelly, and I think that's
Oh my God. That sounds miserable.
You don't want to be Kelly
I
Kelly?
cannot go on a date with you. But you can Venmo me money to take Ariel on a date tonight. She like laughed. We had one of my good friends that's in town was like, "Hey, I want to take you girls to dinner." And then he texted me, he's like, "Sorry, I had to go to Atlanta for work." And then he Venmo'd money. And Ariel's like, "Who are these people that you're friends with?" I go, "He probably feels bad. He was probably going to buy dinner and now he's not going to. So now he's going to still buy dinner."
Hey, Barton, will you drop your Twitter in the comments so I can block you? Because I've been on a heater. I've been on a heater in this college basketball. So
Jake had your back. That's the only
more
reason I scrolled up is because everybody else was saying stuff like that. All jokes aside, yeah, everybody wants to know when you're going to be back on Reddit. But yeah, we'll see you guys Saturday morning. If you've got somebody you would like to see on the show for Wednesday that's around the office, let us know. But outside of that, that's all I got, Megan.
That's all I got too. I gotta go ahead, drop the old dog off, get the kids. Yeah, I know, sad, right? Make sure I give him his medicine. Get everything ready. And I fly out tomorrow, so I will see you in NYC bright and early Wednesday morning. Let's have a great time.